Hey guys, hey, this is your girl Evadne. Hey, those of you who are just joining me on Instagram, hi, my name is Evadne and I am the CEO of Infmaculi Wellness and Immaculate Teas. Now at Immaculate Wellness, we help to make people well, especially ladies who are too busy and need a little help getting themselves organized to live a healthy lifestyle. And at Immaculate Teas, we have the most awesome teas that you could ever find around. And we have it in iced tea form and we have it in dry form. Very good, great collection of teas from around the world. And we do castor oil as well from straight from Jamaica. So we're all into wellness and we like to keep people happy and well. So those of you who are joining me on YouTube and Facebook, welcome. And those of you who are on Instagram, hey. Nice to have you. So now this evening I joined you because when I put on makeup, I like to just go ahead and make some more than one stop, doing some lives and so on. Because sometimes it takes a lot to get into makeup and doll up yourself if you're not getting up to go to a job every day and doing that. All right, so I just want to talk to you today about your dreams, though. Your dreams. It's the end of the year and almost, and most people are getting into making plans, making goals, making all kind of arrangements and different plans for the new year. Hey Lolo, good evening. If she says good to see you. Almin Wilson says good night also. Nadia Design says hello. Good night. Yeah. So welcome guys. As you come in to the house, please go ahead and put in the chat where you're joining us from. What is the day like where you are? Is it cold? Is it hot? So we have a great idea of what's going on with you. Now we're talking about goals because I've been on this live before talking to you about setting out your goals for the year. It is not too late, too early to do that, although the year is not yet finished, because you have some time in December. You could set goals for December if you didn't have them already, and you could set out your goals for the coming year, because I've pretty much done that because I need to finish the year strong. Did you hear that? I need to finish the year strong. So I didn't just sit down and say the year is almost done, so we're just gonna leave it alone. No, I need to finish the year strong. So I made sure I set out some goals just for December and for the rest of for the ensuing year. So I would advise you to do the same. Make sure you set out goals if you didn't have some already. And while you are doing this, remember what's your dream. What are you dreaming of? What is inside your gut? That you need, that thing that you need to do the most. Not that thing that you need to do to survive, but that thing that you need to do because you're passionate about it. What are those things? What are those things that you've been putting off, but you keep looping back to them because that's really what you want to be? That's really what you want to do. That's really how you want to look. You understand? What are those things? What are those things that you're really passionate about? Um, Put them down, put them on paper. Don't ignore it. It's in your gut. God put it there for a reason. So don't ignore it. Even if you can't realize it today, the fact that you put it in your plans for next year, you may be able to get closer to that goal. But if you ignore it and just leave it off, nothing is going to get done. Remember, guys, as you join us, please go ahead and share so that other people can see that we're on and join us as well. So if you have this passion for something and it seems almost impossible right now, go ahead, write it in your goals, because next year you might be able to see a path towards getting closer to that goal. You might not achieve it next year. It might be a long-term goal, but don't leave it off your list of goals. Don't leave it off the list of things that you have to do, especially when it comes on to starting a business, going back to school, getting well, stuff like those. You have it right in your gut, and you know you should do it. You know you have to do it, but you're putting it off for some time that is more convenient. No, don't leave it off your goal, the list of goal that you're putting out. Deli B says hi, good night. Hi Deli, where are you joining us from? Thank you for joining us. Put in the chat where you're joining us from. But those things that are inside your gut, like a fire burning inside of you, you need to attend to them. Even if you can't see yourself achieving them right away, put them down, keep them in focus, put them on your vision board. Because if it takes 10 years or 20 years, oh, Deli B is from PA. Okay, hi Deli. If it takes 20 years to achieve that goal, then you should still have it in your vision. Don't lose sight of it. Because if you lose sight of that goal that God gave you, to use that talent or to do that thing or to develop this concept, he didn't give it to somebody else. He gave it to you. That's your mission to do it. So don't wrap it up and bury it like that parable in the Bible. Keep it in focus. Keep it in mind. Don't wrap it up and throw it away. One day you will figure out a way to make it happen. Right? What is your why? What is the thing inside of you when you're setting out your goals for next year? Think about your why. What is it that drive you? Why is it that these goals that you set out, what's the passion behind everything you're doing? Right? What's the passion behind why you want to achieve these things? So know your why. Is it your children? Is it your mother? Is it for yourself? Is it your boyfriend? Is it your girlfriend? Is it because you like to help the poor? Is it, know your passion, know your why. Why you doing this? Why you want this? Why? Always know your why, because if you know your why, it will drive you in the direction of that goal that you're trying to achieve, even the one that you want to put off. If you know why in the first place you have that thought, or why you have that burning desire to do this thing, it will manifest itself in a way that you will find a way to make it happen. Right? So you just have to write it down, put it out there in the universe, and somehow a way will present itself. Like I wrote today on my page, a window will open or a door will open for you to receive that which you are seeking. But you can't just leave it to come to you, and when it comes to you, you're not prepared. All your life you wanted this, but when the opportunity drops in your lap, you're not ready. That doesn't make any sense. So that's why you need to have it on your vision board, so you always have it in your thought or on your list of goals, right? So it's always in your thought and you always preparing for it, because one day you know it will come to you. The universe will bring it to you. God will bring it to you, right? So keep it in your thought, keep it in your vision. Don't worry about the how. Just know that you want this thing and know why you want it. Write it down, right? It will come to you. But when you write it down, be intentional about time. In 5 years, in 3 years, in whatever years you want to achieve this, right? And just don't sit there. Go out and hustle. Go out and hustle to make this possible. Don't just write it down and throw away the paper and never look back at it, never discuss it with someone, never try to be intentional about anything or when you want to achieve it. you have to keep it in your thoughts. It will come, but you have to keep it in your thoughts. And you have to be prepared so that when that opportunity presents itself, you are ready. But if you wrote it down, didn't believe it could happen, wasn't thinking about it again, the opportunity could come and pass. And you didn't even realize that the God sent you that person to help you to make this dream come through, or presented that opportunity for you to do whatever you said that you wanted to do. Because guess what? You already forgot about it. So you got to keep it in your thoughts. You got to know over what period you want to achieve this goal. And you have to do something towards moving you in that direction. One little thing, even if it is to research, right? You want to open a business. You don't see where the money is coming from. You don't know how you're going to do it. You don't know much about that business. If you took the time to go and read some articles about it, go on Google and do some research about it and write it down, that's being intentional, you know? That's doing something. Because from that reading, you might find another knowledge, or discussing it with someone, that person could lead you in another set of the information. So just don't leave it. Just, I want to be an engineer, and then you just leave it. No, you have to do something, some little thing that moves you in that direction, so it becomes even more real to you. It becomes more real to you, because the more you see it, the more it presents itself in front of you, is the more likely you will be to complete to achieve that goal and to complete that task. Be passionate about your stuff. Don't let people rob you of your dreams. There are people out there who are dream robbers. You know that? People would just set out. I don't know if they do it deliberately, or it's just something in them that's so negative that they will always try to shoot down your dream, or tell you why it cannot work, instead of helping you to find a way to make it work. You have to be careful of those people, and how much of your time you spend with them, or how much of your ears and time you lend to them, right? Because they're dream killers. They're always jumping up with something negative. um Nadia Design says, so very true. Write the vision. Yeah, you have to write it down, and you have to believe it. You have to believe that vision, right? You have to believe that vision. I remember when I started to live in the United States, I said, because I didn't want to live abroad. I was never a foreign minded person, never. I wanted to be in Jamaica. And even if I thought at that time that even if I leave Jamaica, I would not have left Jamaica to live in the United States. I would probably go to another country. But it plays out that I ended up being here and got stuck here. And since I started living here, I remember saying to myself that in 20 years, I want to return back to Jamaica. 20 years. And I watched the years go by, year after year after year after year. And it didn't leave my mind, but I wasn't really making big, like, deliberate plans about returning home, because as the crime and violence situation got worse in Jamaica, you kind of change your mind about going back. So the thought was in the back of my head, but I wasn't working on it. I wasn't doing anything to make sure that that happened. But you know what happened at the end of in the 20th years? I found myself buying furniture, shipping them home, setting up place in Jamaica, and spending more time in Jamaica. And that was sort of the most amazing thing to me, to see that I almost moved back home. Like I almost was back in Jamaica. Like if everything was okay with the crime there, if it wasn't as bad as it is, I would probably be in Jamaica today. Right? And it all happened right on time. 20 years. 20 years. I'm still amazed. I keep telling people about this whole thing. It was just something I said, I want to be back home in 20 years. And in 20 years, it's like your doppy come. You know, they have that term in Jamaica where they say your doppy come. Your doppy come in 20 years because you had spoken that out into the universe. And the universe took you seriously. Time after time, you remember it. You were not obsessed about it, but other things happened along the way that kind of put your mind at a different place. But the vision was still in the back of your head. So come 20 years, you're not thinking about it anymore. But it was already activated. It was already activated and it was already in motion long before you thought so. So coming right up into a pandemic and right up into all that the chaos that's happening here, I was packing up stuff, shipping home stuff to be in Jamaica. I was still so shocked that I spent like 5.5 weeks in Jamaica. Never since I left there have I ever spent like more than 2 weeks in Jamaica. And most of the time I'd go home, it would be like Thursday and return Sunday. That's kind of the thing I always do. I don't even spend a full week there unless something's really, really important is happening. And I was there for all that time and I felt comfortable being home. I felt like I was home. You know, I felt like I'm home. And going back to America is just to visit for a while and come back. But so this is what I'm telling you about when you want something and you it's like wish upon a star, you wish for it. You put it in your intention, right? You put a time on it, how it will unfold, sometimes even when you don't remember. But it's best to remember this along the way so you can make the necessary plans to make sure it happens. Because, like I said, the universe took you seriously. Because when you made that that promise to yourself and you put it out there, you were serious. You wanted that, right? You were intentional about it at that time. Along the way, you change your mind, but the powers that be didn't change their mind in giving you your blessing, right? So be prepared when you're making these plans, when you're making these dreams, when you make setting these goals. Be prepared to receive them when they come to you, because they will come to you. If you did it with passion and you did it with conviction, and that's what you wanted at the time, it will come to you. You usually hear old people say, be careful what you wish for because you might surely get it. It's one of those things. Be careful what you wish for, right? Last year, I saw a picture on Facebook with an open window and I think it was a desk there or something. And it was somewhere in Portland, I think the picture was taken. And I posted the picture and I said something about, you know, hopefully not long from now, that would be me sitting by that window writing or doing something like that. And I posted it and that. And when I saw myself in Jamaica, this past few months going back and forth, and I brought home my desk and all of that, and it was right by a window, and I was like, oh my God, how real is this? How real is this? You know, I saw that picture last year, and exactly a year later, I could be sitting by my window with my desk, you know? So, what you wish for, Be serious about it, because you might just get it, right? You might just get it. The Lord didn't create us to be wimpy and not knowing what we want or which direction. He made us to dominate. Are we dominating, or are we taking this backseat role, or are we pushing ourselves out there to come into the person that you're meant to be, to grow and to bloom into the person that you were meant to be? And a lot of the time, in your gut what you are meant to be, but you choose to let someone turn you off, someone hurt your feelings and tell you that you're not good enough, and you accept it and don't play yourself. You are made to dominate. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to step into your greatness. The Lord created us that way, for us to be great. So don't be afraid to step into that greatness. Own it. Own it, because you feel it in your gut. You know when you were born to be great. You feel it. There's a fire in your belly that you cannot put out. So just own it and step into it. Lead. Be passionate about who you are and what your intentions are. As long as they're good, don't don't watch. Don't watch the what is it? Don't watch the noise of the market. Watch the sale. Stay focused. Follow your dream, follow your heart, follow your desire. What God planted in you, the seed that He planted in you, you make sure that grows and blossoms and multiply. Don't let people kick it out of the ground, out of the soil, before it even start growing. Know who you are and whose you are. Right? Deli says words of wisdom. Thank you, Deli. Power in the word. Of course, there's power in your words. So the things you get up every day and you tell yourself, it will happen to you. If you tell yourself all negative things every day, if you have someone around you telling you negative things every day and you taking it in, you do nothing about it. You don't leave, you don't separate yourself from this person, or you don't tell this person not to do it. You just absorb it. You start to believe it. It will become a part of you, right? And you bury yourself, you bury your spirit, because that person, what they do is kill your spirit, kill your vibe, and you allow them to do it. When you have a friend, when you live in a household, unless you're a child and you can't do anything else, but if you're an adult, you can move away from it. You either get that person out of your sight, or you move away from them, right? You move away from them. Negative people who try to bring you down, or every time you open your mouth with a dream, the dream killer comes up to tell you that you can't. Stop telling that person your dream. Share it with somebody who will help you to make it possible, or encourage you. Not the dream killer. No, no, no. Avoid such persons. Avoid dream killers. Avoid them. Avoid them like the plague. Um, Bekla says, how many times are you allowed to fail? You are allowed to fail as many times as it takes. There's no ceiling on that. Like you're capping it at you could fail 3 times or 4 times or 5 times. No. Remember the story of the light bulb? How much times did he fail before he got the light bulb to work? Edson, come on. You it's not nice to fail. Nobody feel good to fail. I failed a lot all the time. I'm the queen of starting a business. I will do anything I'm passionate about or want to start. I'll just do it. I'll just do it. And they all don't work out, and they all don't work out the way you expect them to. But do you get up and run, or do you stop trying? No, 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 no. You see this tea business behind me here? I decide that I'm going to wrestle with this business no matter what. I have to die fighting with this business because I said all my money is tied up in this business that I've earned over the last 7 years or so. I'm not letting it go. I'm going to fight to the death with it. Because when I created this business, I said, this is going to be my pension. Right? And you think I didn't fail along the way? I have. But I have to pick up myself, brush me behind off, and continue. Right? It's hard. Life is hard, but you can't give up. You can't back up. That's why you should go towards something that you have that burning passion for. Because if you don't have the passion for it, if I didn't have the passion to help people or to make people well or to see people get in a better way of life, I would have left this long ago and gone to start another business long time ago. Right? But because I have so much passion for what I do and the reason I do it, you know, the reason I do it, I don't like to see people sick and die. I've lost so many of my friends who died carelessly because of illnesses that could have been avoided. That kind of passion. I saw my brother passed away last year and was buried. I wasn't even able to go to the funeral because of high blood pressure. You know, stuff like those, they make you want to do more. They make you want to go further and do more because you can help somebody, right? So there's a lot of passion behind what I do. So even if I fail, even if I don't have the money, even if it takes my money, I'm going to find a way to reinvent myself and this business to keep it going, right? So how many times you need to fail? I don't know. But you can't back up. You can't stop. Just be around people who are positive. That's all I can tell you. People who could show you another way. People who could show you that it's okay to fail, but you're not going to sit down there and be sorry for yourself. You're going to pick yourself up and you're going to go again. Even with the tears flowing and whatever, you're going to go again and you're going to try again. Because if you keep trying, something will give. The universe will get tired of you and said, there you go. Take it. That's yours. Don't ever stop. Brush you behind. Real yard thought that, yes, you're going to fall down. Brush your behind off and get up and go again. Don't stop knocking. Don't stop knocking. Don't stop knocking until you get what you want. You have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. I remember a job. I used to listen to these motivational things every day, right? And then I decided that I was going to get a job. And I think that was after I graduated college. And all of these things inside of my bone, Les Brown and all these motivational speaker. And they tell you, don't stop trying, be intentional, give more than you should in order to get what you want. Be prepared to give more service than you are paid for. Stuff like that. It's always in my head. And I just finished a course in server management because I'm an IT specialist. And I got the job. I did a course for Server 2012, I think it was. Yeah, Server 2012. And the school that I did the course with sent me a thing for a company, prominent company. It was a TV company that wanted someone to do IT work 1 day per week. Now, the average person would say, I'm not going to take no job that's 1 day per week, right? You're in New York. What you're doing is 1 day per week job. But I took that job. I took it because I also had a part-time job. And I went to that company to work 1 day per week. And I kept repeating in my head all the things I listened to on the tape about give more than you get. Be intentional about what you do, how you should be nice, how you should be whatever. And man, I went to that company and my 1 day turned into 2 days. Sometimes people would just make sure something is not going on with their computer. They make sure they call me so I could come in so they could give me some extra hours. And before you know it, I think it was 3 months in, I got a management position at that company. Management position from that 1 day work. Huh? 1 day per week turned into a management position. So I'm telling you this to tell you that when you're on a path, you have to know where you want to go. It's not where you begin. It's where you're going. Just like when you're driving, they tell you don't look down on the road, like look over the steering at over on the road. Look out, look ahead, look way out where you're going. Not focus on trying to look down right in front of you. Right? I went in there and I decided that I wanted a job there. So I was going to do everything possible to get a permanent position there. Hey, Donovan, joining me on Instagram. And I used that 1 day opportunity, the 1 day I got per week to work in there. I made sure I did everything right so that they had to end up because I was working that 1 day job with an agency. They had to end up paying the agency thousands of dollars, I think, to get me to come over to them full time because I became valuable to them. I became very valuable to them, and I went into a management position in a TV station office here in New York City, all starting from working 1 day per week. So you have to know what you want and go after it. Go after it with the intention. Don't just say it and just leave it. You have to work on it. You have to work it. You have to work it, man. Work it. Hustle. Thank you for the powerful response. Can you touch up on avoiding distractions? I have a very short attention span with anything. And so maybe I get distracted easily why I have such a short attention span with stuff. So if you know that you have that problem with getting distraction and you want to avoid them, the way to do it is to make sure you work with more structure. More structure. Write down what you're supposed to do and try to keep checking your list to make sure you do what you need to do. If you know if your distraction is in your head, plug into something else. When I am like distorted and a lot of things happening in my brain, especially if it's stress with money and all of that, I usually put my headphone in and start listening to some motivational thing or a book, right? Once you plug into there so that it fills your head, in a way that you forget about everything else that's happening around you, that's when you can regain your momentum and your focus. So whether it's music or whether it's motivational books you want to read or you want to listen to, um, try one of those. You have the audiobooks that you can get on Amazon, and you could listen to them on your phone, for example. Or some people use music. They use calming music, or they use the crazy music, because the crazy music does the same thing too, except that that does something else to your brain that you don't necessarily want. It could put you in a hyper mood, a violent mood, that whatever your brain is taking in, right? And so that's why it's important that whatever you're taking in between your two ears is something positive, right? Because it takes over your whole body and your whole form in that moment when you're listening and plugged in and you're not thinking about anything else. It distracts you totally. Try to read a book that takes you totally away from distractions. Does that make sense to you, Betella? Were you able to get in touch with the historian to get the information about Jane? No, not yet. I didn't forget, but I haven't spoken to her since week. Pauline. No, I didn't speak to her, but I haven't forgotten. Yeah. So I'm just stopping in here to just encourage you guys. And I really want to know that you guys, you sit down and you put out your goals and you you do your thing. You do your thing the way you should. It will make a great difference in your life. A huge difference. And set your goals, whatever it is. Don't be afraid of your goal. Don't be afraid of it. If it is to be, if it is something that you could think of, it's something that you can achieve, right? If it is to go back to school, if it is to get a house, if it is to get a nice car, whatever those goals are, put them down on paper. Put them down on paper and find little ways, little by little, to start chipping away at them. Little by little. All right? Pauline says, so very true. Thank you for the inspiration. Yes, thank you, Pauline. Thank you for saying that. You're welcome. I want to be able to make sure that my life is an example to somebody before I leave this earth. You're talking about legacy? You have to make sure you leave a legacy. Your legacy should never ever be that you just pass through this earth and if you could have children, you have children and that's it. No, you need to plan a legacy. You need to leave something behind you that will remind people that you were here and you made a difference. You made a difference, right? Make a difference in this world. You didn't just slide through, you made a wave. People will remember you because you impacted lives. You did something, whether it's your family or whoever. Make sure you create waves in this world so you don't just pass through here and nobody don't even remember that you were here. You must create a legacy, a lasting one. All right. Anything else? Thank you, Betla. I can't say your name. Baetla. Betla. Danny, what's going on with you? Yeah. So start thinking about it. What can you do? Who you can help? What small ways you can help? You have to create a legacy. You have to. You're supposed to. You shouldn't just slide through life and never did anything worthwhile that anyone would remember you when you're gone. Clothes and shoes will not last after you're gone. We all have a purpose, says Pauline, but it is to find it within ourselves. Yes. So, in the beginning of this talk, I talk about the passion that's in your gut. Different people have different passion. Some it might be a passion to help old people, some it's a passion to help young people, some it's a passion to teach, some it's a passion to lead in church, it's a passion to do politics, could be a passion for anything. But you know that thing inside of your gut that lights you up when you think about it. That's what your passion is. And you should try to make sure you get it out of your gut. But you first have to, you need to probably put it on paper. Put it on paper and let it materialize. Work at it little by little. Chip at it a little at a time. It might be a big thing that you want to achieve, that you can't just get up and just do it. But if you plan, if you're intentional about it, if you put it out there in the universe, if you write it down and put a date to it, right? The Lord will take you seriously that you want it. And even when you forget about wanting it and being serious, or you want to change your mind, He will present it to you. Danny says, good environment. Okay, hi, thank you. He will present it to you, but make sure you're in a position to receive. When you put out to the universe that you want something, make sure you put yourself in a position to receive it when it comes to you, or it will come to you. You didn't recognize it and it just passed right over your head because you were not ready. You were not ready. So you didn't even recognize it when it came. You know, people pray for husband or wives and all of these things. And when husband and wife come, they just pass over their head because they're not ready to receive. They're not ready to receive love. They're not ready to receive the blessing. So the very thing you prayed for came to you and you didn't recognize it. And it just passed over your head. Hi, Barbara. Barbara said she's listening from Florida. Welcome, Barbara. How is Florida? Is it warm or cold? Yeah. So when you pray for something, when you put out in the universe that you want something, that's why I said you have to do something to start working on getting that thing and preparing yourself for getting that thing. Because okay, she said it's beautiful. Otherwise, the thing will come and you didn't recognize it because you are far removed from it, that you didn't even realize the thing came and just left. So be intentional when you're making these goals and making these plans, and put a date by which you want to achieve them and keep them in your focus. Do a little, even research, even talk to somebody, talk to two different people to get two different opinions. Do something that thing is alive in your brain, or else you will lose touch with it and it will come and you don't know, right? Maybe it came packaged in a different way than the way you expected it because you're not prepared. You don't recognize it. You're too busy being angry or too busy being mad or too busy being busy that the very thing you prayed for came to you. The very young man you were waiting for came to you and you let him pass because you were not prepared, right? You forgot what you prayed for, and what you prayed for came to you in a different wrapping and you let it go. So we want to, I would love to hear some of these goals that you guys plan between now and the end of the year, and so we can put them out there in the universe and help each other to work on these goals. And when you tell somebody these goals, it's like they expect you to achieve it, so you become more of a believer yourself. because you know that that person is expecting you to do this because you told them that you're going to do this. So you become more accountable for achieving that particular goal. So while we're going through this week, next week, and whatever, I want to know that when I come back here to talk about goals and whatever, that people can tell me more about some of the goals that they have been setting and what we think about them and so on and so forth. Or if you want to just email or message me, fine, you could just go ahead. You just send it to the page. I'm the one who opened them. But I want to see people really working on stuff, real stuff, to get, from point A to point B, right? I want to see more people up in here being on missions to do more for their community, more for their family, more for whoever, but doing more, not just receiving, and not giving back. And giving back does not mean that you're buying clothes and shoes and gifts to somebody. Giving back would mean helping a child to go to school, helping a child with their school fee, helping a child to buy their books. It could mean a whole bunch of things, right? I want to hear some of those stories. So as a community, we know that we're doing something. All right, guys. So thank you for joining me on Instagram. I really want to know that some of us this coming year we'll be working on our weight and getting ourselves in shape, not just losing weight, because we're not about just losing weight, we're about health and wellness. So make sure your sugar level is where it's supposed to be, your pressure is where it's supposed to be, your cholesterol is where it's supposed to be. We're taking all those things down, taking them down, right? I don't care if you want to eat meat, just don't eat too much of it, right? Danny says, keep on doing what you're doing. You're on the right path. I got to go. All right, Danny, thank you. Thank you for checking in. Yeah, we do all those things, you know, to help the community, to help each other. We're not trying to make you vegan or vegetarian. We want to make sure you're doing the right thing to keep your levels down, right? So we're doing the wellness thing. We're gonna be setting up. I started the WhatsApp group for the wellness. I just need to have that circulated so more people can join the WhatsApp group and we share stuff inside of there for new market group, right? And I have my own stuff, Immaculate plant-based lifestyle program and so on, right? Nadia says, thank you so very much for these encouraging words. You're welcome. I'm happy somebody appreciated it and that you guys stop in here to talk to me and to be a part of this, right? I really appreciate you all. And I'm going to go now. And hopefully I'll be able to stop in. Um, I'm not promising tomorrow, but if the opportunity presents itself, but certainly during the week. So love you guys. Take good care of yourself and have a blessed night, right? Bye.